I was in tune with the preoccupation as well in other domains in architecture. Where in the first period where all the things were continuous, and to prolong his last period, the one where we were also, which was, for example, identifying different elements. And if you take the villa, for example, in Ahmedabad, is that. I mean, you can identify all the different elements and how they play together, but they are connected, you know. So this was maybe trying to make one step forward about that, and make of each one an object for itself. So that means that if it is an object, you have to be able to see both sides. So it becomes, why, for example, this wall is not the wall of the house in a certain way. It's a facade, but it's a metaphor of a facade. So this was a way, I mean, if you see the photograph of the construction, this was a way to do, this is one piece, this is one piece, this is another piece. So they were all built separately, one after the other. So the house where the structure was built inside after they put. So it was an idea of, in terms of construction, if you want, to give to each piece its identity, and each piece is a project in itself. So it's, and it was very curious because in fact each time you were adding a new thing, it was like the site has changed, and sometimes what we had in plan to do, we would modify it in function of what was on the site. So I liked very much this way, which was in a certain way like constructing by yourself. You know, you make something, and you say, oh, I do this, after you change, so it was, because the reality of the thing built is totally different of the one of the representation. So that was interesting. So you have to give a density to the thing, which here is made with evidently a language which is closer to Richard Serra than to, but it's a new way also to aesthetically, plastically to make architecture. So I was in tune with the preoccupation as well in other domains in architecture. So this was the facade, the classical facade, if you want. This one was more a kind of, if you want, opposed to Corbusier, it was more closer to the steel. And this one was, you could say, the most, for me, the one I prefer in a certain way with this one is that this one was a result of all what it was. If not, you cut your stomach, you know, and all the things get out, and so there's no composition, no. When this one is much more composed in a certain way. This one is defined by the regulating thing, but this is a kind of result. I mean, and this, in fact, the concrete is a kind of the walls of the city. You have boundaries, you know, and inside you have the element of the city which are inside. So this was the main idea. So that makes that each one of those become a dwelling by itself. So here you had the two kids, and here you had the parents, and these were, so that makes that this floor was the public floor, the piazza, if you want. was a kind of opposition to the dwelling of current dwelling of the suburban dwelling, you know, which is something. And you can see after that in all the things that everything, it was really pushing systematically as much as we could all the elements of constituting the building and make them expressed. You know, that was so. It what makes also the kind of complex image of the building at the same time. It was a kind of opposition to the dwelling of current dwelling of the suburban dwelling, you know, which is something.